You're good.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Profit Plays live show here on our YouTube channel. Joining me, we have, as always, Trey Trends and the new man, Seth Chandler, will be joining us on these lives from now on. It's going to be a relatively short live tonight. We're going to have a new person try the trivia as well, one of the Bear Pack members. But before that, we're going to talk some ball tonight. We're going to talk about small balls, big balls. We're going to talk about all the balls, baseball, basketball, football, even a little bit of soccer in here. So buckle up. Let's get right into it. And before we even start with those topics, we have some sad news in college basketball. Bronny James at USC practiced earlier this week, went into cardiac arrest. He was rushed to the hospital, and from reports that we already have now, it looks like he's been released and he's at home recovering. I wanted to start off with this because everybody's talking about it. I'm just glad that he's okay. This is an 18-year-old kid that he just randomly went into cardiac arrest, so that's a very scary thing as they try to determine what was the cause of the cardiac arrest. A lot of people are jumping to conclusions, which is probably something we shouldn't do. But I've heard everything from COVID vaccine to him maybe taking something that he shouldn't have or giving something he shouldn't have taken. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. He's alive. He's okay. That's what matters the most. You guys have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'll start. Whoever said that COVID vaccine joke, like, come on, dude. Like, don't say that. But yeah, the thing that worries me is that it happened on a Monday right after the weekend. I hope that he was not given or slipped anything, especially with him being in Los Angeles. Who really knows what goes on over there? I hope that everything turns out okay. I hope he still makes it to the NBA. We've seen a lot of times these athletes get heart conditions and immediately be not banned, but like, we're not signing you. You're not going to get drafted. Like Chris Bosh was in his prime, had a heart condition, and did not sniff in the NBA court ever again. So that was tough to see. I just hope Bronny gets to play with his dad. That's all I hope.
Seth?
Yeah, guys, my biggest thing is we all see these guys as athletes, and at the end of the day, we just need to be thankful that the situation played out good, because they're human beings at the end of the day. They go home to a family. We see them as athletes, but they have families as well. And I just hope everybody puts their differences aside of who his dad is, if they like him, if they don't like him. I mean, like Jesse said, this is an 18-year-old kid that we hope gets better and has a bright future ahead of him, and hopefully can prove himself for Bronny James and not LeBron's son. So that's what we hope for.
Yeah, very scary stuff. We're glad he's okay, but Braun is not the GOAT. We're moving on to some MLB talk. We're going to have some MLB free agents or trade deadline news. I'm going to start. The biggest name on the block right now, Shohei Ohtani. And the reports that I have read is that the Angels shut that shit down very fast. Ohtani will be staying with the Angels because they're having a bit of a winning streak right now, winning 8 of the last 11 games, and they brought in some pitching as well. They took Lucas Giolito from the White Sox. So it looks like they're going to make a run or try to make a run with Ohtani. And by the way, I'm very happy that the White Sox are selling, because I hate that team and they deserve every single loss that has coming to them. But I think that Ohtani wanted to stay there with the Angels anyway. He likes the West Coast, so I think if he wanted to leave, he would have left. The Angels in return for Ohtani probably would have got a lot of prospects, but at the same time, I can see the team thinking by the time we get those guys to be good players, they're going to be out the door anyway. So we were going to keep the best player in baseball until the end of the year and try to make a playoff push. What do you guys think? What do you guys see in the trade deadline so far? I'm going to start with Seth here.
Yeah, so same with you on the Ohtani thing. From what I heard, Art Moreno, the GM, took some calls on Ohtani, and the things he was seeing wasn't good enough to make him budge. So he just took him off there, and then immediately after went and got Lucas Giolito, who's actually starting for the Angels tonight. But Lucas Giolito did come at a pretty hefty price for the Angels. They had to give up 2 premier prospects. One was catcher Edgar Quero, who took off last year in the minors, and then Kai Bush, who's a Double-A pitcher. So far, we've seen the trade deadline has actually started off pretty fast. It usually takes up until the day of the deadline to see many things happen, but the Dodgers have already made 3 moves and got 4 different players. They acquired Kike Hernandez, Ahmad Rosario. They also got Lance Lynn and Joe Kelly today. So the Dodgers are out there moving, and from all the reports I hear, they're not done. They're not settling for anything. I don't think we're going to see any big time splashes this year, like the Juan Soto deal. There are people's names being thrown out there. One from my favorite team, Nolan Arenado. He's not going anywhere, guys. I'm sorry to say it, but the GM would be fired if he traded him right now. I just don't see it. And definitely not to the Dodgers, who don't need any more help than they already got. But, like I said, there's still some good names out there, though. You're talking about like Cody Bellinger, Tim Anderson, Jordan Montgomery, Jack Flaherty. So these are all names that could still get moved, and there's always one surprise move up some GM sleeve. So there's probably going to be another move that we don't see coming that ends up happening. But I'm really tempted to see and want to see where Tim Anderson goes. I think that'll be a good piece. He started off real slow this year, but he's really picked it up the last month. So I think that'll be a good move for somebody who needs middle infield help.
Yeah, you mentioned the Dodgers getting pitching off the top of the head. Kershaw's out, right? Buehler injured. Dustin May also injured. So good for them getting pitching. The big surprise is going to be Nolan to the Dodgers, by the way. So I think you're just scared to say it. So he has been in heavy talks with the Dodgers, the Cardinals, that is. So I think Nolan's going to the Dodgers. Trey, what do you think?
Yeah, just imagine what the Dodgers pitching rotation is going to look like whenever all those guys come back too. By October, if the Dodgers can make it to the end of the postseason, that team's going to be pretty scary. But my favorite moves, and you guys have all touched on them. I love the Dodgers getting Lance Lynn. No one touched about the Marlins getting David Robertson, but I love that because we've seen their starting pitching. It's been absolutely dominant this whole season. It's been so good that the Marlins sent back Yuri Perez to the minors, one of my favorite young pitchers. So their rotation is loaded. They just need some bullpen help, and they're finally getting that. And then the Angels, them getting Lucas Giolito, Barry touched on it. I love that because it kind of hammers and gives it the hard stamp that we're going all in with Shohei Ohtani and kind of shows Shohei like, hey, I know the first couple of years we didn't do anything, but over the last couple of years and especially this season, we are trying. Please come back to us.
Yeah, I like those. I like those takes, Trey. But let's move on to some NFL talk. We have Joe Burrow injury scare from the other day, and then we're going to talk about the running backs not getting paid a lot. We're going to start with Joe Burrow, though. He was carted off the field with a non-contact injury on Thursday. Everybody, including myself, thought he'd be out for the season, but it turns out that Zach Taylor, the head coach of the Bengals, said it's just a calf strain. Everybody relax. He's going to be out for several weeks, but it doesn't look like he's going to affect the start of his season for the Bengals. Any thoughts on the Burrow scare? Trey, I'll start with you.
Yes, and I was very worried about it. Whenever he texted me that he went down, I was at work and I went into a panic mode. I have him on way too many of my Dynasty fantasy football rosters. And then, like Seth said, we need to think about him as a player. I mean, not as a player, as a person as well. And just as Joe Burrow, he seems like such a good guy, such a cool guy. I just watched his Sunday conversation with Caleb Presley on Barstool, and he's just an absolutely funny character. You guys need to go check that out if you haven't watched it. So Joe Burrow, I'm glad that it was not as bad. And I sent it into another one of my friends' group chat with Bear's brother, Jake. And Jake said, well, a calf strain, that's what the Warriors said about KD whenever KD had his injury. And I really hope that it does not happen with Joe Burrow. I'm glad that he's taken some weeks off of rest, though.
Yeah, Seth?
Yeah, all I can say is Bengals fans can breathe easy now. But here's the thing. Anytime a cart comes out and it's a non-contact injury, the first thing you think of is a knee. So when they came out real quick and just rest assured everybody, hey, it's a calf. But still, a calf, as a quarterback, he's still going to have to put a lot of pressure on that every day. So they'll probably be smart if they just sit him out until the regular season and just don't even attempt it. But as a football fan in general, I was glad to see he was going to be okay because I just love the competitiveness of the AFC and all these quarterbacks going at it in the AFC would be fun to watch. I just don't think it would be right to not see one of those top quarterbacks on the field. And then I don't want to hear Bengals fans also say, oh, it's because we didn't have Joe Burrow. I don't want to hear that. That's another thing. But no, happy Joe Burrow's or healthy and should be a good season in the AFC at least. Maybe
also, as Bear goes, he needs to sign his contract extension before he comes back. He does not need to keep waiting and holding out. After that injury scare, I would not step on the field again until I got that contract extension. So look for them to be, as he's off the field, be working behind the scenes to get that done.
Pen to paper for Joe Burrow coming up. But let's get into the situation with the running backs. Everybody's been talking about the NFL running backs not being compensated for their skill and what they bring to the team they play for. And honestly, what I think it comes down to is the disrespect that these owners are putting on their players. It seems like nobody wants to give a running back a long-term deal. And I understand the frustration from the players. But if I'm looking at this, guys, from an owner or a GM, I wouldn't be paying my running backs long-term either. We only have seen so many times in the NFL where a team will just plug in a random seventh-round pick or an undrafted player at the running back position. They will produce enough production to get a couple $1 million deal the next season. So what's happening is the GMs are doing the plug-and-play method, and the star running backs who haven't got their long-term deals and are worried about securing that bag because of injuries are pissed off. The prime for running backs, very small gap. So they need to get paid early when they can. I can see this from both sides. What do you guys think? I'm going to start with Trey here.
Yeah, and the guy who's leading the charge is Austin Eckler. And he's a great example of why they're not going to be paying these running backs. Austin Eckler was undrafted, and here he is scoring the most touchdowns over the last 3 seasons of the NFL. And it just goes to show that you can really find these guys wherever you want to. There's a ton of players out there who are going to be great running backs. And nowadays, it's just hard to find the bell cow. Not everybody. Actually, there's no other guys like Derrick Henry. It's hard to even find guys like Saquon Barkley with that amount of juice. So, and like Bear said, NFL teams are just not wanting to pay him because they're wanting 10 plus mil a year. You can go draft a rookie running back even in the second round, third round, and have to pay him 2-3 mil a year. GMs are just going to want to do that. They're not going to want to pay you guys. I'm sorry, running backs. There's nothing we can do.
Seth?
I would say I don't agree with the GMs here. I do think running backs are a little bit undervalued, but that is also in part to the way the game has changed and evolved. I mean, we're talking about how teams just go out there and air it out 40, 50 times a game now, or you have quarterbacks who just go out there and run it. But these running backs are guys that you send into 300-pound linemen 15 times a game. I do think they're undervalued more than they should be. I mean, I get what you guys are saying, that you can find a running back just about anywhere. I mean, look at the Chiefs last year with Isaiah Pacheco in the 7th round. And as Trey said, Austin Eckler. But there still gets to be to a point where, are these guys going to put their body through the beating if they don't need to, if they know that after 4 years they're not going to get paid? Yeah. I mean, that gets to be the question that I ask you guys. Will these guys be okay taking rookie contracts for 4 years and then not getting any money after that, after putting their body through a beating for 4 years? I mean, statistically, running backs' careers are way shorter than everybody else just because of the beatings they do take.
Yeah, I understand that. And my thing is, I understand how the NFL works. Some positions make more than another position because that's just how it works. The quarterback position makes the most amount of money because that's the most important position on the field. But are you really going to sit there, look me in the eye, and tell me Daniel Jones is better than Saquon Barkley? You're not going to do that. Are you going to sit there and tell me Derek Carr, who played for the Raiders last year, was better than Josh Jacobs? No. That's the only problem I have with this, because if players are being paid for how good they are, nobody on the New York Giants would be making more money than Saquon Barkley. But he got himself a deal. I think it was $11 million, I believe it was. The running back who led the league last season in rushing yards, Josh Jacobs, hasn't signed a deal yet. And from what I read, he was offered $12 million a year. I think he's very foolish to not take that $12 million a year paycheck, because the sad truth is, I think that's the best he's going to get, being the second best player on that team. It's a tough situation for the running backs, but that's how the life is right now in the NFL. If I were to give advice to the college-age kids that have a shot at the NFL, maybe, switch up at the position, quarterback, wide receiver, if you want to be paid better, or, put on 200 pounds, grow 6 inches, and go out for left tackle, because they get paid very well as well. But any more thoughts on this before we move on, Trey, Seth?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say something because, Seth was saying stuff and it really, perked my interest, because these running backs, I think that there's some way that they can get paid. I was watching a TV show. I can't remember what it was, maybe Colin Cowherd, and he was saying that there needs to be a pool of money that the NFL does, maybe like 2% of the salary cap each year, that can be given out for incentives for each team to give out. And that could be a good way to maybe give the running backs, a couple, $3-4 million every year, especially the rookies like Isaiah Pacheco last year that was leading the Chiefs in rushing yards. Hey, you outperformed your contract, we'll give you a $4 million bonus type of thing. So I think that's one way that they could, pay these guys. And I've seen another rumor that the NFL is considering, I guess not considering because they're not going to change it, but some guys are telling the NFL to maybe change the rookie running backs contracts to maybe 2 years so that they could enter free agency quicker. I don't see that as an avenue. I don't think that the NFL is going to be like, all right, all these guys get 4-year contracts, but the running backs only get 2. I don't know if they could really do that.
Yeah, I don't really like that idea either. But Pacheco, by the way, he ruined this for all the running backs because he was so good in the Super Bowl and he got paid nothing. So that just goes to show you the GMs are probably right on this one. But let's move on to some more football. Lionel Messi to the MLS. Let's do thoughts on this. So we all know that Lionel Messi was the GOAT of soccer. He's an incredible player. He's making probably close to $1 billion with all his sponsors and having a partial ownership in the team. Playing in the MLS so far in 2 games for Inter Miami. He came in like the 55th minute in the first game, and he scored a free kick in the 94th minute to win the game for them. And then in game number 2, he scored 2 goals, 1 assist, and it's literally a grown-ass man playing with Pee Wee soccer players. The competition that he had internationally compared to the MLS is an absolute joke. And I honestly think, guys, he's holding back because he doesn't want to embarrass anybody out there. He's still the GOAT. What do you guys think of this? Seth, I'll start with you.
Guys, everybody in the USA should value this right now and just start watching MLS if you do not watch MLS. We are talking about arguably the best soccer player in the history of the sport. Lionel Messi signed as a 13-year-old kid to one of the best teams in Europe. We're talking about FC Barcelona. He signed at 13 years old. If that tells you anything, yeah, that's crazy. That's what I have to say about that. And 5 goals in 2 games, or 5 points, 3 goals, 2 assists in 2 games.
Yep.
You don't ever see that. I mean, in the MLS, you do not see that. It is such a team-oriented thing. Messi, like Jesse said, he's just running out there with a bunch of youth league soccer players. Messi's level is 10 times higher than all of these guys. But not only that, I think it's just good for the MLS in general to have somebody of his caliber be here. But we are talking about the most lucrative deal in MLS history that will never be shattered. He's making between $50 million and $60 million a year. You don't see contracts like this in the MLS. And on top of that, he's also getting sponsorships from Apple TV on top of that. And Apple TV Plus, it says package it sales have went up drastically since Messi joined. So it is good for, I think, the USA getting to see Messi on this sort of scale. I love watching soccer. I know it bores some people, but especially when you get the chance to just sit down and watch Messi, I say you should go out and do it.
Yeah, I don't watch soccer. The only soccer I watch is the World Cup, and I've watched both of Messi's games so far. So that should tell you what his impact is on TV. Trey, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, and you guys kind of broke down what he's done in the game. I'm going to break down what's going on behind the scenes because we all saw that free kick goal. It was electric. And then we saw the camera pan to the wide shot, and the MLS is just embarrassing. They're filling out the stands. I got to give them that, but the stands is what, like 5,000 people there. Yeah. Messi, they need to build a new stadium ASAP before Messi gets older. They could pack 50,000, 60,000 people in those stands easily watching Messi, especially down there in Miami where soccer is king. So, just build upon what you guys are doing down there. Just keep building that stadium because they need to just pack in those stadiums for Messi because he's doing everything he can down there.
Yeah, Messi's the GOAT. That's basically what that was all about. Let's move on to the categories game. We have best sports nicknames for players all time. It's going to go Trey. Seth, you want to go second?
Yeah, I'll go second.
You go second. I'll go third. 5 players, best nicknames all time. Trey, I know what you're going to pick, but go ahead.
Yes, we all know where I'm going. He's the GOAT, but that's not his nickname. Give me King LeBron James as my 1.01. Best nickname in the world. Whenever he puts the crown on himself, it just sends chills through my body. King James, let's go.
Black Mamba will be my pick, Kobe Bryant. I'm not going to say anything about it. Best nickname of all time. Seth?
And as funny as it sounds, we all 3 went with Lakers here. I'm going with the young blood and AR-15, baby.
AR-15?
Austin Reeves.
I like
the other one. AR-15.
All right, go ahead again. Back to back.
Oh, big unit, Randy Johnson.
Ooh, I like that one too. I had that down. On my list. What can I get away with that you guys won't take later? I'm going to go with the answer, Allen Iverson. I love that. I love that nickname. I'm going to go with that as my second pick. Trey?
Yes, and for my back-to-back picks, I'm going to go with Larry Bird, the Hick from French Lick. Whenever I heard that for the first time, I just remember laughing so hard. It's just a perfect nickname. And I think I heard that nickname before I even knew what Larry Bird looked like. And whenever I heard that, I had an image of him, and it looked exactly like Larry Bird. So that was awesome. And then I'm not for sure if this qualifies as a nickname. Whenever I was doing research, the internet told me it is a nickname. I'm going to go with Tiger, Tiger Woods. Not his real name. They gave him the nickname whenever he was a young kid. Give me Tiger Woods.
His father's friend in the military gave him that nickname. I didn't think he would catch it. I'm very mad. Eldrick Woods, nickname's Tiger. Well, now I got to. I'm going to go with Magic Johnson. Real name's Irvin Johnson. I'm going to go with Magic as the nickname for my third pick. Seth?
Yeah, give me the big fundamental, Tim Duncan, baby. Best power forward of all time. You're talking about the most steady power forward there is right there.
I like that one. Back to back for you.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay with basketball here, and I'm gonna go the mailman, Karl Malone.
Ooh, like it.
Got that name because he delivers in clutch situations all the time. He's reliable like the mailman.
Yeah, I have Black Mamba. Now I got to go White Chocolate. Jason Williams as my 4 pick. Trey?
All right, I'm going to go into the football world with my next 2 picks. Give me the Fridge and Mean Joe Green. I think both of those nicknames are great. Whenever you think of the Fridge, you think of a huge-ass man, and that's exactly what you get. And then Mean Joe Green, it's just a perfect thing for his name. Joe Green, put mean in front of it, Mean Joe Green. It is scary.
Yeah, I have one more pick, but I do want to say, Travarsky, I see in the chat. Have we sent that invite out, Trey?
I sent the invite as soon as we were about to start categories, so hopefully go check your email. It's going to be from bearsprofitplays@gmail.com. Click the join, and we're going to see you here soon.
All right, he is in here now, so we're good now. We're going to go on. My last pick, I'm going to go to old school, the Sultan of Swap, Babe Ruth. Sultan means king or ruler. Swap means he's hitting, obviously. So the king of hitting. So I'm going to go with Sultan of Swap as my last pick. Seth?
I had a couple different avenues I could go here. We've done baseball, we've done basketball, we've done football. So I'm going to move us to the UFC, and I'm going to go Anderson the Spider Silva.
Ooh, I like
And
that.
Bear,
I like that pick a lot.
We got two. We got one more pick each. We got 5. Seth just picked his 5th, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're done. That was it. Everybody's got 5, right?
4.
You went first.
Oh,
then on the way back, you went back to back. Yeah, we all got 5.
I'm not an accountant, I swear.
No, you're good. I'll have them written down, and I'm gonna get those posted on Twitter so we can vote on those. But we have a very special guest. It is a Bear Pack member. We've been trying for this for a couple weeks. We have Travarsky Green. I'm gonna pull him up. Maybe. Oh, you got him. What's up, man? How you doing? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Hello? Oh no, we got audio issues.
What's up? Can y'all hear me?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
No.
Good, man. I'm ready to kick some tail, man. Let's get it.
All right. Let's do this real quick. I want to go over the rules before we do this. We're playing for $75, 50 to you, 25 to the chat if you win. You can bank out after the mid round for $25, I believe it is, Trey?
Yes.
$25. All right. So you're going to get a 50-50. You're going to get a call a friend, and you're going to ask the chat, or you can ask me or Seth. But we're going to get started. You have 3 lifelines. Don't forget about them. You have 10 seconds to answer each question. Are you ready? Can you hear us? Oh, no.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Trey, I'll let you read.
All right. Which NBA player is the youngest to reach 10,000 points? LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum, or Devin Booker?
Five seconds.
Oh man, that's tough.
You have lifelines if you need them.
I'm going A. LeBron James. I feel like he's Luka, but I'm
First
going
question
A.
is always the hardest. We're on a roll. You did get that right. Good job. Let's move on.
Good luck with this one. All right. This one just for fun. I'm not for sure if it's common knowledge, but just use your brain. Look at them, and which one do you think the NBA would not want in their jersey? What jersey number is banned from the NBA? 00, 99, 69, or 45? It's tough.
I kind of feel like it. I kind of feel like it may be 45, but I'm going with C, 69.
Let's go.
Good job.
I can't remember. Donovan Mitchell might be 45. I can't remember. All right. Who has the most triple doubles in NBA history? A, LeBron Goat James. B, Russell Westbrook. C, Oscar Robertson. Or D, Nikola the Joker Jokic?
Let's see Oscar Robertson.
Oh,
that is incorrect.
Bear, I'll let you decide on what we should do.
I talked to Trey earlier about this, and I said we should have a revive option as one of the lifelines. So we're going to take away the phone call. We're going to give you a revive. You're going to have a 50-50, and you're also going to have an ask the chat. So that's going to be your revive. The answer was Russell Westbrook. But we're going to move on. You still have 2 lifelines. You have a 50-50. You have an ask the chat. But let's move on. It was Russell Westbrook, though. And
yep, he broke the record 2 seasons ago. So shout out Russell.
Yeah, he went on that absolutely insane day.
I think it may have been Oscar. I think.
All right.
I remember that. I know he averaged a triple-double that year, but I think he did it 2 years now. But okay, that was like a little trick one.
Yep, that's what I love to do. I love to throw out some wrenches. I love to make it hard for you guys. All right, so this is the average round. It gets a little bit harder. What NFL team is the only team in the NFL to not?
Okay, so what do I have left? I know we did the revive. What are my options left?
So you have a 50-50. We'll take away 2 answers, and you can pick from that. And then you have an Ask the Chat. We can pause it, and then we'll read the question in the chat, and then they can give us, or me or Seth will give you the answer.
Looks like you got Mal in the chat. Looks like he's doing pretty good. So if you ever need to ask the chat, Mal will be there for you.
Gotcha. Well, this one is A. This is Jaguars.
Oh, no. All right, what do you think? Rethink.
What NFL team is the only team to not host or play in the Super Bowl? Sunny, warm Jacksonville Jaguars, Carolina Panthers, SoFi Stadium, Los Angeles Chargers, or the Cleveland Browns? My heart's racing over here.
No, dude.
Okay, I think then it has to be D. It has to be D. Cleveland.
There we go.
It's Cleveland.
We're
they
back
suck
on-
ass.
we're
Host or play.
We're
But
back on.
I thought, but I mean, Cleveland, they won. I guess that was before the merger, before it was the NFL.
To be
It
fair,
might have been whenever they were the AFL. I'm not for sure if Jim Brown was around whenever it was the NFL, technically. So
to be fair, I also said Jaguars when he gave me the trivia. So I did think the Browns had won one too. So that was a tough one. We're gonna move on. You have a 50-50. You have an Ask the Chat still. Let's do it.
okay, sorry. Which NFL player has the most touchdowns in a single season? A. LaDainian Tomlinson, B. Emmitt Smith, C. Marshall Faulk, and D. Sean Alexander. You do have 2 lifelines. These are getting increasingly tough.
I know this one, man. It's between LT or Sean Alexander. I feel like it's LT because Sean Alexander had the most rushing TDs, but I think LT, he was a great receiver too. So I think it's LT, man. But I know Sean Alexander he had a great year 1 year with Seattle, but I'm gonna go with LT. I'm going with A.
Wow, that was a great breakdown, and that's
That was
exactly
great.
right. Those 2 have the best seasons with the most rushing touchdowns. So you identified the top 2, and LT is correct. That was a wild roller coaster.
There you go.
All right, so this is going to test your baseball knowledge. So good luck with that. Who has won the first World Series in MLB history? A, the Pittsburgh Pirates, B, the San Francisco Giants, C, the Boston Red Sox, or D, the Detroit Tigers? Baseball's been around for a while. This was the 1903
I need
season.
So what are my options left? I have a 50-50, and then what else?
You have an Ask the Chat. You can ask me or Seth, or we can ask Mel.
It's Mal. Come on. Put
Mal,
some respect
sorry.
on Mal's name. Oh,
we got more. We got more in the chat.
We got Taquinda J as well.
Yeah, I gotta ask you guys because
Okay, you're gonna use the Ask the Chat. I want to see if anybody in the chat can come up with it first because Seth and I already know the answer. I'll give him a couple seconds.
This one is tough. I will give a hint. That was the longest streak in MLB history.
I know it's not Boston because they broke their curse in 2004. I know it's
But
what did that curse come from?
I'll give him the answer. The answer is C, Boston Red Sox. It was who won the first World Series in MLB history.
They had the curse because they won the first one and they couldn't win another one. That's why it was called the curse.
Yeah, but hey, you had the lifeline. That's why they're there. We're moving on. I think we're on to the hard questions now.
All right. That was the Ask the Chat. So you still have the 50-50.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right.
All right. So
wait. Do you want to cash out that 25? Or do you want to keep going?
I used my lifelines before we got to the difficult round.
You have one 50-50. You're gonna have a 50-50 shot on one of these questions, but you can cash out now.
Yeah,
for 25.
I'm going for it. You
want to go for it? All right, let's do it, Trey.
Don't let me cash out. I love this. All right. Good luck on this one. I asked Seth and Bear this one. They both got it incorrect. So you have your 50-50. What NBA team is considered the oldest team in NBA history? They could have moved from their original location as well. The New York Knicks, the Sacramento Kings, the Los Angeles Lakers, or the Boston Celtics?
This definitely has to be a trick question because I feel like most people are gonna go with C or D, but I just kind of feel like it's a trick question.
Could be.
Do I have any options left? Do I have any
You have a
lifelines or
50-50.
anything remaining?
You have a 50-50. We'll take away 2 incorrect answers.
Okay, give me a 50-50. I need a 50-50.
Trey, take 2 away.
All right, I'll help him out. I'll take away the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics.
I feel like when you ask Seth and Bear, I feel like they would have went with the Lakers because it just seems fitting for the Lakers. So I'm going with the Kings. I'm going with
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go,
Great
lady.
thought process right there.
Good shit.
That one's
All
a
right.
tough one. I feel like the next 2 questions are easier than that. So just try to think them out and you'll make your way there. All right. So 41 states are home to at least one active college football program, college football. Which one of these states has the highest number of college football programs at 12? Oh, sorry. California, Texas, New York, or Florida?
Okay. I just I've
Go with the gut right off the bat.
so I feel like it can't be C. I just man, that's tough because you got a lot of Pac-12 teams out in California, and then but you have the Big 12. But then you have the SEC. I'm gonna go with because I feel like the SEC has the AC. There's football teams in the ACC, and you got the SEC.
You still have a lifeline.
No, he didn't.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go with. But then you got Texas. Oh my goodness,
Pressure's on.
I'm stuck between B and D. I don't know, man.
Need an answer.
I'm just gonna. My gut telling me Florida, but I just feel like I'm gonna go with B, Texas.
Let's go.
Oh my
We got there.
God.
We got there any way possible.
Last question. All right, $50 is on the line. That is a great way to start the weekend. What was the New York Jets' name before the Jets? The New York Titans, the New York Commodores, the New York Bullets, or the New York Steamers? This is for all the marbles.
Fuck.
There's been only 6 teams that changed names, and the New York Jets were one of them.
Man, oh my goodness.
Ugh. Ugh. If it helps you out, neither of these 2 got it right when I asked them it either.
Fuck.
Need an answer. Down to the pressure's on.
I'm just gonna go with because Jets. I'm gonna go with Steamers.
No. It was the Seth and I both said Titans, right, Seth?
No, I said
both said Bullets.
Oh, we both said Bullets. It was Titans. I even thought then it was Bullets. Damn it. All right, you didn't win, but we would love to have you on again sometime if you're interested in that. I had a lot of fun. I'm ready for more Bear Pack members to come up and try this. We're gonna add $25 more to the pot, so it's gonna be $100 on next Friday night, $75 to the trivia guesser, and $25 to the chat. But I don't know your real name. Is it actually Shavarsky? Mr. Green, thank you for joining us. I'll just say that. Thank you for joining us. Everybody in the chat, thank you for hanging out tonight. We will see you guys next live video. And make sure you guys check out our video tomorrow morning on the MLB play. So thank you guys for being here. Travarsky, thank you for being here, man. Sorry we couldn't give you that $50, but I had a lot of fun doing it. And we'll get you on here some other time. But guys, have a great night. I'll see you guys on next Friday. Peace out.